Hey everyone, and welcome back to Lighten Your Load VA Support. If you're new here, I'm really glad you found your way here. I'm Melissa Miller, a former longtime CNA turned virtual assistant operations manager, and I help clients get back time in their day through clear, visible systems that help them work smarter and more efficiently and not harder. Before we go any further, I want to ask you something. Do you feel like you're needing to start over every day or every week when you sit down to work because you waste time searching and scrolling through Google Docs or Google Drive just to find what you need? Okay. And because you can't find what you're looking for, do you start questioning whether the tool you're using is the problem? Maybe it's too complicated, or maybe you chose the wrong one. If either of those questions resonate with you, I want you to hear this clearly. Neither of those things are the root cause of your frustration. Okay, that's not it at all. What you're experiencing isn't a tool issue, it's a workflow issue. Okay, and more specifically, it's about giving your brain the visual cues it needs to know when to start, how to work, and when to finish. And that's why in today's episode, I want to remind you of this. You don't need a lot of new tools, okay? Getting a new planning tool is not going to solve your problem, okay? And you don't need to rebuild everything from scratch. So I don't want you thinking that, oh, I like the tool, but then I actually just need to start over completely and delete everything I have in that tool. That's not it either. What you actually need is a visible workflow, a clear path that your brain can follow, okay? And in last week's episode, we talked about how invisible systems create invisible progress. Our brains are visual. And when they can't see progress, even something as simple as a status like not started, in progress, or completed, they check out because they don't know what's going on. They check out because they feel overwhelmed by how much energy they're expelling just trying to find the pieces of information that they need in order to even start the work. And before you think, oh no, ready to start over from scratch again, I want you to hear this as well. The answer is no. Okay. I don't want you staying stuck in the loop of chronically starting over because that doesn't get you anywhere, right? It doesn't help you get your tasks done. It doesn't help decrease the overwhelm. That's not it either. I'm here to help you move into a healthier workflow cycle, okay? One where you can find what you need, click, work, and then log off for the day with a list of completed tasks instead of a list of half started tasks, okay? So I want you to realize that chronically starting over every time you sit down to work doesn't help you find what you need faster. Okay, it doesn't. It doesn't matter whether you're using a tool like Notion, Asana, Trello, ClickUp, or Google Sheets. Okay, because it doesn't matter what the tool is. If you can't easily see a status or find a file, a document, a graphic within 1 to 2 clicks, you're going to get stuck scrolling and searching just to begin the task that you're trying to complete, right? And that doesn't help you get more time back in your day. That doesn't help you actually get stuff done, does it? Okay. And remember, our brains are visual. They need visual cues to be able to focus and engage. So whether you're working on an invoice, recording a video for a podcast or your YouTube channel, writing content, be it blog posts, emails, social media posts, or even creating graphics, I don't care. Your brain can't see where to start and what's connected, and it's going to check out if you don't have a visual cue in place for it in your workflow. Okay. And what you actually might need is a central hub, one place where your documents, notes, and ideas live visibly together. Now, before you tell me, oh no, does that mean I can't use Google Drive or Google Cloud or anything like that for storing documents or files? I'm not saying that at all. Okay. It's absolutely okay to store your files in Google Drive, Cloud, whatever storage unit you use, okay, for backup and safety. I get it. We want to be able to have a copy in case something crashes and we need to start over with a new device or whatnot, okay? But once you save those files, whatever it is, in Google Cloud or in Cloud or Google Drive, I don't care, for safety and backup, okay? The thing that you need to be doing with those files next is doing another step of either linking or chipping those files into whatever tool you're using as your hub. So that way, when you sit down to work, your brain can just click over to that file, whether it's actually over into that software automatically, or even just a preview, like what you can do in Google Sheets, then you can actually just cue your brain into what is needing to be done, the tasks that need to be done, and the information that you're trying to get it to process. So that keeps you from starting over. Okay. And also, I do not want you to think that, okay, if I start creating this hub that Melissa is wanting me to create, that means that it has to be perfect or that it's the one size fits all for all time and space for my business. Y'all, that is not the case here at all either. Okay. I want you to be clear about this. There is no one size fits all perfect visible workflow. Okay. Our brains are unique, okay? Which means our workflows need to be unique too, okay? What works beautifully for me will not work beautifully for you, okay? And what works beautifully for another content creator or business coach or whoever that you follow might feel heavy and confusing for you. And again, it doesn't mean that when that happens, that doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong, okay? It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, okay? It just means that the workflow is not aligned with your business and your brain. Okay, it has to be aligned with your business and more importantly with your brain, right? So things make sense and you can work more efficiently and easily and less stressful and less frustrated. Okay, your workflow needs to be able to also have room to evolve with your business. Okay, so this hub that that I want you to kind of create or get into the mindset of creating and how it can help you with working smarter and not harder in your business needs to have room to breathe. It's a baby. Okay, that's what my shout out to Faith Mariah, my business coach. Love you, Faith. It's a baby. It this or if you don't want to use that term, it's your first draft. Okay, right? Whenever we write, whenever we're creating content, a lot of the times we go through a couple drafts, right, to get it to where we want it to be. And the same is true with your workflow, guys. This is a first draft hub. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be perfect. Look, listen to me. I do not want you going out and getting a new subscription to another tool, okay, after you're done with this episode, okay? That's not where we're aiming for here. What I want you to do is just start where you're at and start implementing some different tactics to help you work smarter and not harder and more visibly, okay? So what you create now will probably not look the same way that the way it is now in 6 months from now, a year from now, or even 2 years from now. Okay. And that's normal. That's fine. That doesn't mean that anything's wrong. This is the part that I don't want you to miss. If you don't have a solid foundation rough draft now, if you're not creating this of a strong first draft for your hub, your visit to create visible workflow systems now, there's no way that your workflow will be able to evolve with you later when you're ready to scale your business. Okay, it's just not going to work, guys. It's going to still be a mess because you're still stuck in the mode of scrolling and searching and looking for things. Okay, it's just not going to work. Okay, you're not building the final version of your business or your content systems workflow right now. Okay. You're building version one. This is only version one. Okay. Something visible enough to support you right now. So it's enough for you to be able to get out of the scrolling and the searching mode and into actually work mode and being able to just find it, click it, and then work and then log off. That's all I want you to do. Okay. That's all I'm going for here for you too. So let's talk about how to implement this today, not tomorrow, not 2 weeks from now. Let's actually get you started on this right now. Okay. So, and we're doing this again without starting over, without learning a new tool. Again, I don't want you to think, do not go and get a new subscription to ClickUp, Notion, Asana, or whatever after this episode. Okay. Just start with what you've got right now. Okay. That will work. That'll do. So without starting over, without learning a new tool, without adding unnecessary complexity, okay? I want you to start creating your simple first draft of your workflow so it can grow with you. So step one is to choose which workflow in your business that you want to work on, okay? And I want you to choose something that you don't do just like annually, like say once a year, that you look at only maybe once a year. Okay, that's not going to serve you. I want you thinking about the stuff that you do on a daily and weekly basis. So, some ideas could definitely be writing emails, scripting content, admin tasks, logging client hours. I personally do that being a VA. So focus on what you're currently doing frequently, daily or weekly, and not what you wish you were doing or think you should be doing. Okay. Stay away from that, please. Okay. Focus only on the here and the now. Okay. And then the next step is I want you to identify your real starting point. So, question for you then would be what would help your brain get the visual cues it needs to complete whatever task you're working on? Okay. So, for a lot of people, it does look like a simple home base or a dashboard or something simple. Again, just use what you got. How can you create a way for you to be able to have your documents, your SOPs, graphics, templates, and get them linked into this hub. So instead of scrolling 20 minutes through Google Drive or Cloud or social media or the back end, if it's emails, scrolling the back end of your marketing software, instead it's easily linked or chipped that you can just click on it and you're off to the races. Okay. And we're not moving files. We're not reorganizing folders. We're not trying to create a system in Google Drive or Cloud where we can instantly find something. We're just leaving it alone. We're just taking what files or documents that you use on a regular daily or weekly basis for the tasks that you do in your business, and we're just chipping or linking them into your content, into your business hub. Okay. The files are not going anywhere. If they're already in Google Drive, they can stay there, or if they're in cloud, you're simply linking or chipping them into whatever hub you're wherever you're wanting to designate your hub, so everything is visible and connected. So when you sit down to work, you are able to quickly find it and not, again, spend 20 minutes scrolling through Google Drive or scrolling through Cloud. Okay, we're not doing that. No more. Today's the day we're not doing that. Okay, and then step 4 is now that we got everything linked in your hub, now we need to work on giving your brain a visible progress cue. Because come on, who doesn't like to see a little bit of momentum, right? And who doesn't like to see some progress? Okay. So it doesn't need to be complicated. Okay. I want you somewhere in your hub to create a column. Okay. And make it a status column and make it easy. So for status, think simple. Three tiers. To do, in progress, done. Okay. And then you can toggle it by each of your tasks about where you're at. So your brain can check in too easily. If it says done, then you know you don't even need to mess with that can of worms. And you know you can move on to the next one. The ones that are to do or the ones maybe they're in progress. So if it's in progress, you just pick up right where you left off, right? And then if you want to take it a step further, now you don't have to do this. I personally like doing this, but you do not have to do this. I do use a word system. It's not necessarily to do or in progress. I use like need to do whatever step, because some of my stuff I do have a lot more steps than just 3. So I have like need to write script, need to record, using my video content for the podcast and YouTube channel as an example. Okay, so mine's a little bit more elaborate, but I do not want you trying to do elaborate because this again is step 1. This is, or not step 1, excuse me, draft 1 of your content hub, okay, here of your workflow hub. So keep it simple. So again, simple status, to do, in progress, done. But if it helps you, if you do kind of do little visually with just color, go color code it. So put, when you're using to do, put it green so you can just jog that it's completed. If it's in progress, use yellow or orange to just signify that, oh, it's in progress. It's not done, but I've at least got it started. Okay. And then for to do, put red, like, oop, okay, I need to get this done, to kind of get red, we think of red something urgent, like this needs to happen now. Red is a good color for that. Okay. And this again gives your brain a different type of way to see the progress and build momentum instead of frustration. Okay. So what I have to say about all this is when your workflow is visible, this is what keeps you from starting over chronically, from having 50 tabs open on your desktop instead of just maybe 2 or 3. And it helps you make decisions faster instead of like just trying to be in that, should I do this? Should I not do this? Or what should I do? You're actually being able to just not even go there and makes decisions a lot faster, and then your workflow feels lighter and you're actually more productive because you're, instead of again spending 20 minutes searching and scrolling through your email marketing software, your social media platforms to find posts or links or whatever, or um, the back end of your website, you are able to just visually instantly see what you need and get to work and then log off and you're done for the day. Okay. And that's what I want you to get to. And I want you to remember too that when you're able to stop chronically starting over, having too many tabs open on your computer, making decisions quicker and not slower, and your work is feeling lighter, this helps you feel like your system is actually supporting your brain. Okay, this allows your brain to feel like the pressure's being taken off because right now what's happening is because you're scrolling and you can't remember and you're trying to run your business from memory, your brain is tapped out. It's going, I can't, I'm not designed for this, for one, and two, I am done. I can't take anymore. And so, how can we get your brain to feel like it's actually supported? Like, oh, okay, instead of trying to remember everything, oh, okay, there's the starting point. That's where I need to start. Then your brain feels less taxed and it's actually able to kick in a little bit faster, right? And you know what? At the time of recording this, guys, we're almost to Christmas. We're about, at the time of recording this episode, I'm a week and a half from Christmas. Okay. And I don't want you heading into, at the time I'm recording this, it's December 2025. I don't want you heading into 2026 or whatever future year you might be watching this episode. I don't want you heading into the new year um, wasting another year scrolling, searching, instead of actually working, completing your tasks, and actually building the momentum that you want to hit, that I know you want to hit in your business. I mean, I have clients right now, it's like they are ready to scale, but the problem is the back end is messy or certain workflows are messy that it's tough. They can't manage it. It's become so unmanageable that it's actually becoming a hindrance to their progress. And I don't want something as simple as just not being able to visually see, cue your brain to see something, to stop, to be the bottleneck that's stopping you from hitting your goals. And when you have systems that are visible and allow you to work faster and more efficiently and make decisions quicker, this is how you get more time back in your day. So you can hit your goals. And I get that maybe some of your goals aren't necessarily just in regards to your business. I mean, I have a lot of goals right now for my business for 2026, but y'all, I also have a lot of personal business or personal goals, excuse me, for my health and my well-being since I have chronic health issues of my own besides caring for a chronically ill loved one. So I don't want you to feel like you have to just settle. I want you to feel like you can go for the whole thing, but that can only happen if you set yourself up for success with having a workflow that allows you to be more productive in the time that you spend working on your business. So then when you log off, you're not kicking yourself like, oh, I should be working harder, or I didn't get this done, or like, oh, now I'm stressed out because I have two deadlines coming up and there's no way I'm going to hit it because I can't find anything, and I'm not being productive. I want you to stay out of that. Okay, I really do. I want you instead being able to log in, log off, and feel good about the work that you put in for the day. Okay, that's where we're going with this. So it's about getting time back in your day. It's about hitting your goals, whether they're personal, professional, or just simply having time to even to just rest. Because come on, we're not robots, y'all. We're human beings in human bodies. We need to have time to have a break, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Okay. And a visible workflow is what will give you the time to do that. Okay. And so for my reflection question for this episode is what part of your work would feel lighter if there were one clear starting point and everything you need was already linked there? And I'm not saying and I don't want you to, you don't have, you can leave a comment below where you're watching this on YouTube, my blog, Spotify or Apple if you want. I love your feedback. I like to read your comments. I love to hear what kind of feedback of where you're in, like what headspace you're in. But I want you to also realize too that you don't need to solve everything today. Okay. I just want you to start noticing what's coming up and maybe how you can use that as momentum as we're starting to really dive in on getting your workflow systems to a better spot. So you can work more efficiently, have more time back in your day, hit your goals and start writing in and bringing in 2026 hot and harder because you're ready to go, because you're not drained, because your brain's not taxed out, because you're not running your business from memory. Okay, that doesn't serve you. So you don't need to rebuild your systems or add more tools. You just need one visible path your brain can follow. And if you want to, if you're feeling really stuck, like if this is really resonating, but you're feeling stuck on maybe how to take this a step further, definitely click the link below wherever you're watching this, my blog, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever. Below is my Lighten Your Load Visibility Reset guide. It will be linked below. And I just want you, you don't have to go through every cop picking thing, but go through the sections that feel aligned to you and just leave the rest. Take what feels supportive and leave the rest. And also in that guide there, I do include a link for you to, if you'd like to actually hatch this out on a 30-minute Google Meet call for free, I am up for that. I want to help you. So definitely leverage that as well. Book a call. Let's chat. Let's chat for 30 minutes and see where you're at and see where I can help pick your brain about where you're not visibly um, aligned in your workflow to where we can get you working a little bit more efficiently and a little less stress and from a place that's a little less stressed out and overwhelmed so you can have some more time and space and room to breathe. And if you're following along with the series, in the next episode, we're going to actually talk about why your brain doesn't trust your to-do list and how to fix that without adding more tasks or changing tools. Again, we're staying away from getting more subscriptions to the latest tool, the latest trend. We're just taking what we have right now and tweaking it a little bit into a way that makes sense to your unique brain, your unique workflow, so that way you can work more efficiently and be able to, you can actually leave your work day feeling accomplished and productive and logging off knowing that you worked hard but you're not feeling unsettled and you're not feeling like you're kicking yourself because you're still stuck in the scrolling and the searching mode. Okay, because again, consistency doesn't come from discipline. It comes from giving your brain visible signals and tools and cues for completion. Okay, so that's all I got for today's episode. So until then, I want you to be gentle and kind and give yourself grace, okay? And remember, you're not behind. You're just learning how to make your workflow more visible so you can complete it and be able to keep building on the momentum towards your personal or professional goals. So I'm Melissa Miller. I will see you in next week's episode. Leave a comment below with any questions and definitely click the link below for my Lighten Your Load Visibility Reset Guide if you would like to take this a step further. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.